Hello, welcome to Flory Models, and if you're joining us this week, we're looking at sort of aftermarket type things, figures, so we're looking at Zombieland and Man Down, things like that. Stowage is another thing on vehicles, stuff like that. All too often modern kits don't really come with that modern look, and that's something we were talking about with the Man Down series, that it's nice that all their tactical gear is bang up to date. You know, they've got the latest and greatest of everything that's there. But as I said, all too often, some of the older kits, shall we say, it's just the old gear from the 80s and 90s and isn't very up to date. So a modern stowage set on your armour or on your vehicles, so just in your dire armour, really brings it to life. Now, I bought this one the other day. This is the Meng supply series. I think it's got a kit number. It is, so it's SPS 015, okay? So it's known as their supply series of kits, and as you can see, it's modern stuff. So we've actually got, you know, everything you'd find on your modern vehicles and things like that, okay? So looking around the box a little bit, what else they do. Done that one, given that one as a prize. Seen that one, haven't seen that one. Okay, just on the box and everything else, we've looked at obviously what you're called. You've got your colour call outs, obviously they're all in your Vallejo colours, okay, and then back round there. Then on the back, as we've seen with all these kits today, is your instructions, okay. So we've got your equipment boxes, obviously at the top, we've got your hydration camel packs, things like that, your rolls, your helmets, various different things that are going on those, water containers, and then obviously full Bergen backpacks as well, right the way through, okay. So looking down in the box, let's say a few more on this one that we've seen on the others. Okay, so in here we have one bag. Okay, and that's a very clever way of doing it. Yes, you've guessed it. It's actually done on vinyl. So if we can get this all out, well, it's slightly stuck together even. Okay, that's a nice touch. Now the idea of this is you could probably then attach it to a person, because it is on there, so the strapping will actually wrap round. So if you did want to add them to other crew and things like that, they would do, or generally just having it down, all right? So that's quite nice. Now the parts themselves, as you can see, we've just got one sprue with all the main parts themselves, and on the blind side, with Meng, we know what they're like. They do have extremely nice clean out. They even clean off all the bits of sprues and the various things for you. Very nicely done, very nice, sharp, crisp detail on all of these. So if we just move the camera down, you can see we've actually got some very nice details for the backpacks and the paneling at the back, nicely molded in. We've got the frames there and everything on those, okay. So the water cannon's got a little tiny bit of flash on there, but I really am being picky on them now, okay. And just generally the other ones, the handles, grab handles, things like that, again, back panels. The helmets themselves, we've got some beautiful detail on all of those. They're all very nice. The rolls themselves, if anything, they're a little bit bland compared to the other stuff, but obviously rolled fabric's rolled fabric. Okay, and then back up here we've actually got your backpacks and the back plate panels for them. The camel pack, which is beautifully done, is a lot more detailed than we saw on the last one we just reviewed for the Master Box one. That one's a lot more detailed. Okay, and then we've got the paneling for these lovely armoured plastic carry cases. For all of those, some very nice details on those. And then down, even on the blind side, pretty much moulded all the way through, which is very nice. So it's not like it's got a blind side to the inside of these water containers. They are slightly molded, so they're going to fit, but that'll be no problem at all. Working our way down, and with the helmets with the cover or without the cover, all very nice indeed. Some great detail on those. This is actually beautifully molded, these boxes. They are exceptionally good quality. Okay, so the harnesses, obviously this is a twin set. They're exactly the same. This is great because, say, you can actually attach these to your figures and have it as if it's actually wearing them, which is a very nice touch with all of these parts. You can see it's very soft. It does have a blind side, so there's no real detail on the other side. All the detail is facing outwards, but you'd expect that to be wrapping round. And also on the inside, you don't get as many details. There's not buckles, latches and that. It does tend to just be foam, but it's quite nice how it's on an actual vinyl one, so they bend, so that's not a problem with doing any of those. So it's a very nice touch how you can add realistic webbing and strapping. The only thing I would worry about is painting this, because obviously you've got that thing, if it's an acrylic, you prime it, which is no problem if you're using something like a styrene res or a polyurethane primer because it's flexible. But as soon as you put a crispy coat on it, i.e., you know, your normal paint, you run the risk then when you bend it and you overdo it that it cracks the actual paintwork. So that would be my only thing. Obviously you want to paint it as a separate, not on the actual soldier itself, but certainly I think, you know, it may be a bit of a problem when you bend this round. It's going to get a little bit cracky and give you a little bit of a problem. But generally, really nice to see this one. As I said, I saw it advertised and I thought that'd be quite a handy type of thing to have, because obviously I built modern armour recently and I've scratched around, to be honest, to get some sort of modern stuff to go with it that you'd find laying around a normal modern tank and stuff like that. But anyway, Meng have jumped in and they filled the gap quite nicely. So there we go, that's the Meng. They call it the Supply Series. So it's the SPS 015 kit.